My guest is Terry Bradshaw, Hall of Fame quarterback, four-time Super Bowl champion with the Pittsburgh Steelers, NFL on Fox studio analyst where he's won 3 sports Emmy Awards. He's the founder of Bradshaw Bourbon. You can find Bradshaw Bourbon online at bradshawbourbon.com. Terry, thanks so much for joining me on Sports Business Radio. How are you?
Good, Brian. And you?
I'm doing
good holiday.
great.
Did you have a good holiday?
I did. How about you?
Yeah, it was good. We went to, my wife and I went to, we live outside of Gainesville, Texas, about 30 miles. And 6 years ago, my dad had his name put on a marble bench for World War II.
Okay.
And we went to the, we're always out of town, but this year we're home. So we went down to the city and all the people coming they honor all our soldiers, men and women in the military that lost their lives. And it was so good, so touching. It was really a great day. And I got to sit there and stare at my dad's marble bench, which was pretty nice.
Yeah, I bet that was powerful.
It was.
Well, I want to talk to you about business because everyone knows you as a football player. We'll talk about that a little bit. But Terry, you are a shrewd business person. You've got Bradshaw Bourbon. You've got Terry Bradshaw quarter horses. And I want to start with this. I read that when you were a rookie, you made $25,000 and you had to get a job as a used car salesman during the off season just to supplement your income. How do you go from that to learning about all these businesses that you've run for so many years?
Well, first of all, you have ideas come to you or brought to you as a celebrity. Okay, let's just put it out there.
Yeah.
You get opportunities and you shuffle through them. You go, no, can't do, not interested or whatever. My first real venture into the business world was Terry's Peanut Butter.
Okay.
And and the guy that was part of the Jimmy Dean Sausage Company came to me and asked me would I be interested in peanut butter. And I thought, oh, this is perfect because peanut butter, I love peanut butter. Kids who you get to go out, you get to sell it to Walmart, Sam's, 7, and you name it, everywhere. And I formed a production company. I filmed my own commercials. I wrote my own commercials. It was so much fun. And I took that peanut butter and I went out and I opened up like 13 states. And I chartered a jet when I didn't have money to charter a jet. and Brian, I went, I went to all these cities. I'd go in and then I'd go to the supermarkets and I'd do Cracker and Terry's peanut butter after school. The kids would come in and I sold the heck out of this stuff and loved it, But the one thing I failed to do was secure futures. I didn't know you could do peanut futures.
Right. Equity in the company.
How was I to know that?
Right.
And we had that horrible rain and all the peanuts rotted in the ground and all the big companies had their peanuts in future markets. I had none. I had no peanuts.
So who came along and helped you with business? Did you have an agent? Did you have a business manager? Because you're playing football.
I just the peanut idea came through a guy named Jared Crutchfield who had produced an album that I did, and he knew the Jimmy Dean people, and that's how that happened, was through him. He was a graduate of Vanderbilt, smart guy, and then from him, everything evolved through word of mouth. People would come to. I never had an agent. I didn't know how to negotiate necessarily, but I learned on the fly. Basically, I don't need these glasses on. Learned on the fly, and here was the secret for me, Brian. if there is a secret. I don't do anything that I don't enjoy.
I love it.
I don't do anything if it's not something that I'm excited about doing. I don't invest in the stock market. I don't have a company that's in finance, deals with finance. I don't do certain products. I won't endorse certain products. I've turned down tons of products. Now, at my age now, at 77, I don't get opportunities anymore to do that, but that's okay. I've got enough on my plate. But I would not get involved in things that I did not find interesting.
Yeah.
And so therefore, since I'm a farming kid, ranch kid, I love people. I sang in church. I gave talks. And so that was where I stayed. I stayed in that little family of business, speaking, ranching, mills, grain, all of that had to do with animals. And then the other thing was young people. And so it was easier for me to start doing sports banquets. And I would speak at sports banquets. Well, I didn't know how to speak. And I knew I needed $15,000 a month or $17,500 to keep my ranch going. And so I would book out, $800, $900, $1,200, $1,500. Oh my God, $2,000. And every month I would add up all these speeches. And when I'd get to $17,500, and I'd shut her down.
And is this during your career or after?
Yes.
Your career? During your career.
Yeah.
Okay.
During my career. And so while I did not know that while I was speaking at all these banquets and learning how to speak and not what to say and how boring the sports talk can be unless there's some substance to it. And that's where I learned that I could speak. That's where I learned I could formulate ideas and create language. And that's where I learned I could create a message. And that's where I learned that humor was huge. And who better to do humor than me? And so that's kind of how I portrayed myself. And then one day I got a call from William Cohen, Secretary of Defense. And he was a good friend of mine. I did USO stuff with him. I'd been to Washington, D.C. in his offices. He and I became buddies. And he said, I've been thinking about you. And he says, you need to, basically what he wanted me to do is stop traveling so much and form a company. He said, brand yourself. And I told him, I said, I don't really know how to brand myself. And what would I brand it in? So eventually, the only thing I come close to being branded, Terry Bradshaw branded, was the quarter horse business.
Right.
And so that's kind of how I did it. I formed everything off the, excuse me, this is ringing. It's Jimmy Johnson calling.
Oh, hey.
Look, JJ. I'll call him back. So that was the only thing I really knew that I knew. I only knew anything about. So I guess what I'm saying to you and everyone out there is I got involved in things that I knew interested me and that I would attack and just learn as much as I possibly could. And I would ask all the right questions. And over time, ranching after 40 something years, almost 50, has been the one thing that I branded. And the other is I'm with Washington Speakers Bureau. And because of all of those football things for $500, $800, and $1,500, I learned how to talk. And I've been with Washington Speakers Bureau, which is primarily a political booking agent for speakers, for 45 years. 45 years.
Wow, Terry.
And so, and then television just came about because I was a star. And TV is all about stars. They want to hire stars and see if the star can talk. And if the star can't talk, then after a year or two, then they let him go. And so it's personality driven, it's stardom and all of that. Because none of us are qualified to be in television. None of us are qualified to do games or any of those things because we don't go to school for that. I got a PE degree from Louisiana Tech. I didn't get an engineering degree. I got a PE degree. Now people laugh at me like you're doing right now, and I don't know why you're laughing.
I'm not
Brian,
laughing at you.
No, Brian, you are laughing.
No, I'm
because,
not.
Listen, petroleum engineering is a tough curriculum.
Oh, there you go. So let's talk about Bradshaw Bourbon.
All right.
Talked about ranching. We've talked about the quarter horses.
Got it.
This seems authentic to your brand that you would have Bradshaw Bourbon. How'd you get into it?
Well, it's I love bourbon. I sure hope my preacher doesn't hear this interview, but I love bourbon, and got a white spot on my head. Oh, that's the light. And my father's father was an alcoholic, and I had an opportunity 35 years ago to get into the spirits business. I went to my dad, which was something I didn't need to go to my dad, but I did out of respect for him. And it didn't take him long to tell me, you're not doing that. And so I said, okay, I understand. My mom and dad have since passed away. And I got an opportunity. My wife likes bourbon too, not as well as I do, but she likes it. And we were buying Four Roses bourbon in Hawaii. And it was okay with the blend wasn't my kind of blend, but she liked it. So we drank Four Roses. And then the lady that was running the store we were buying our bourbon from said, I get 2 barrels a year of Four Roses, but I only need 1. Would you like to have the other barrel? I went, well, what does that mean? Well, that means that you get a barrel of bourbon, and you pay for it, and you might get 130 bottles out of it or whatever, and then it's yours, the barrel, everything. I'm going to get out of here. I said, you know what? That sounds interesting. How much will that cost me? And she gave me a figure, and I was like, oh man, that's nothing. And she gave us the number, and we called the Four Roses Distillery. We went up there, Tammy and I. They had 19 blends on a table, and the whiskey sommelier was there. And we started sampling. Now you're supposed to sample and spit, but nobody told me that, Brian. So I'm sampling, and I'm going, Now I'm getting another one. After about 5. I couldn't taste another bourbon no matter what.
Oh, wow.
But my wife was obviously a little smarter than me, and she picked out this one blend, and the sommelier, and they passed cards to one another. They both picked out the same blend. So that's what we got. But you have to send the bourbon to a retailer. You can't send it to your home. You have to go to a retailer. And so we went to Captain Kirk Seafood in Sarasota, Florida. Davy Stewart owns it. And I said, would you take my bourbon? I'll have it shipped to you. And I said, why don't we do this? I don't need all that bourbon. Why don't I come down there and I'll sign all the bottles for people that'll give us $100 a bottle. And we'll give the money to Wounded Warriors.
Great.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
So I went down there. We had like 128 bottles in this barrel. And $100, I sign it, take a picture, give it to him. And we gave all the money to Wounded Warriors. Well, that got huge coverage. So we did it again the second year. Same thing. Wounded Warriors sign it, and people were stacked up around the block. And I'm like, this is crazy. And then my wife said to me one day, she said, honey, why don't you start your own bourbon and put Bradshaw on it? And I said, yeah, but I don't want the Four Roses, because I didn't like the Four Roses is a fine company. They were once extremely powerful. Then they went down. Now they're back, and so on and so forth. It's a good story. So I told, I had a marketing agent, and I said, hey, you know what? I want to start my own bourbon company, but I don't know how to do it. He said, let me look into that for you. And he comes back and he says, Green Rivers Distillery in Owensboro, Kentucky, does celebrity bourbon. And they said that they would love to have your bourbon. Send them the proposal. So I drew up the bottle, called it Bradshaw Bourbon. I wanted a shotgun. I wanted a Gunsmoke bottle, round, long neck. I wanted Gunsmoke powder color label, and just Bradshaw Bourbon. And so we had all that done, but we didn't have the juice. I didn't have the juice that I liked. And so they started sending me blends. No. Almost 16 months, maybe, went by, and they came out and brought this blend to me. And I tasted it, and I went, oh my, that's it.
Wow.
So
you knew right away.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And it was like, wow, this is so good. And so once we got the juice, then we got the bottling, got the investors behind. I was with some folks that got some money behind us, and we started selling Bradshaw Bourbon. I traveled around the country, opening up markets. And we went to the Spirits Awards, which is private sampling in Vegas out of thousands of bourbons. Look, you walk into a spirits store and Total Wine, for instance, you go down the bourbon lane, there's 1,500 bottles of golden juice.
Wow.
So how are you going to separate yourself? It's very difficult. It's a hard business. Bourbon is a hard business to get into and then to stay into. So we started doing that, just doing all kind of little marketing ideas to sell the bourbon. And then we won all these awards. And Fred Minnick, who is the godfather of bourbon, he's the critic, the number one guy. He gave us a rousing award. His approach to our bourbon blew him away. He did not expect a celebrity bourbon to be that good, because they don't know it's a celebrity bourbon until after they taste it.
Okay.
And they pick the award, and then they pull it up and say Bradshaw Bourbon. Anyway, what? And so Fred and I have since become very good friends, but he couldn't get over how good it was. And that kicked us off and got us going. And we've been 6 years now, going on 7. Everywhere we go, we'll go into a liquor store and ask them, you got our bourbon in here? And normally we know they do. We'll sign bottles, stick them back on the shelf so nobody will know it. Then I'll go tell. We made the mistake of telling the guy that owned the joint, hey, look, we just signed some bottles back there. And we found one of the guys one day, went back and got them. He took
That's
them
funny.
himself.
Of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, congratulations on
that's how we got started. It was a long, arduous process. Lots of ups and downs, a lot of heartache. You're not going to get people, oh, you go to your own bourbon company, you're going to sell it and make millions. Nobody's going to give us millions for this bourbon. It's a working man's bourbon. But we have now we just swept the Spirits Awards again. We got a 12-year bourbon, which is 13 now. It just swept. So we were like, our bourbon is really good, really good. And so I'm really proud of it. I'm really proud. I love it when people come to the ranch. I got cases of it under the sink, and I was like, well, here, take this with you. Appreciate it.
Great. Well, I'm going to have to try it sometime. So let me ask you this, Terry. You called your own plays with the Steelers, and were famous for doing that before there were offensive coordinators, quarterback coaches.
Right.
I see how that is kind of translated into business, where you're calling your own plays and you're doing things that are authentic to you. And sure, you have people helping you, but like you just said, do you enjoy it? Do you like it? Is it something authentic to you?
I am the creator. I'm the visionary guy. I'm the guy that has the ideas, but who doesn't know how to make it happen. Come on, let's be serious. My wife is God, she's so smart, and she has done so much for my bourbon company and for the ranch. I mean, really, let me tell you something. Someone has to be the idea guy. And then someone then you got to have the soldiers, and you got to have the management that comes in and says, okay, that's a great idea. How are we going to make this work? All right. Well, first of all, we got to have some capital. And here's why we need the capital. So that guy, you got a finance guy, you got a management guy, you got all the workers back here, and we're all working together. So I think a guy that has a successful company or a successful ranch with 11 employees here at Bradshaw Quarter Horses, all highly skilled people, everybody doing their job which they're qualified for. And my job is in the horse business. I'm the selector. I'm the guy that buys the brood mares. I'm the guy that picks out. I pick out a lot of the show horses, but my wife and I have kind of a different eye. She likes a little different style horse, but my job is to put all that together, and I have great people that do the breeding, do the collecting, do the flushing of all the eggs, and it's a highly technical business. But I'm really,
you're the quarterback.
Brian, I'm just the guy with the ideas.
But you're the quarterback calling the plays.
Yeah, everybody else has got to do it. I don't know how to do it. That's what's smart about me. I don't know how to make this happen. I know that it can work and it can be successful. And I don't do things in business necessarily that is for a quick dollar.
Mm-hmm.
Because I need sustainability. I need this to grow and build and grow and build. And the Bradshaw Bourbon is a slow, very difficult business, very difficult. And we're slowly getting here. We sold 500 cases the other day to Alabama. We did it slow. That took forever to do. Then we're going into Florida, and we got Walmart coming in the fall. We'll be in Walmart in stores, 500 something Walmarts in Florida, which is huge. We just worked Hawaii, and we're back and getting in the hotels and on the golf course. It's a slow, arduous process that is so much fun. So much fun.
But you've got to be a great closer, Terry. I mean, when they say, hey, let's meet with Terry, I mean, I can't imagine someone's going to say no to you, right?
No, my wife says, they need you to call so-and-so.
Yeah.
Well, why do they need me to call? Because you're Terry Bradshaw.
Right, exactly.
You got to know who you are, right?
Right.
And yeah, it does carry weight. I know that, I mean,
when you've got such charm about you and you're a great storyteller. And if I was on the phone with you and making a business deal, I'd have a real hard time saying no to you.
Well, if you did say no, and you're very important to me, Brian, then I'd get on a plane and come see you.
Okay.
I would rather do a Zoom call to save the money.
Yeah.
But yeah, here's the thing. If you like bourbon, then I know you're going to love my bourbon because it is so good.
Okay.
And I'm not worried. I know the minute you taste it, no, I'm a Jack Daniels. I'm Elijah Craig, a Maker's Mark. That's great. That's great. Just try it.
Okay.
And you can buy that and you can buy mine. And once we get people tasting it, they're like, you got to be kidding me. That's how good it is.
All right. I want to be respectful of your time. So let me ask you a little bit about your work with Fox Sports and NFL Sundays. Everyone knows you from that. You've been on there for 30 plus years. Like I said, 3 Emmy Awards. You guys seem to have such a great chemistry. You build great chemistry with your Steelers teammates. How do you build chemistry with that set there that you've been a part of for so long?
But first of all, everything, football and the studio show, it's all about the show. It's not about the individuals. And you have to be fortunate enough, number one, that the people can put their egos down, set them aside, and go in for the betterment of the show.
Right.
My job, I know what my job is. We're all analysts. We're all going to sit there. We all have different personalities, and we learn where we can go with our people. I know what line not to cross with Strahan. I know what line not to cross with Howie or Gronkowski. So you got to know where the lines are drawn. So you learn the people, and then you build a relationship. You work on taking those weak points, make them as strong as you possibly can. And you have to embrace the people. My job is I embrace everybody. I listen to what they say. I'm extremely interested in what they're going to say on the air. And if you'll ever watch me, I'm always listening to what they say, because they may say something and I'm going to go, whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah. Sorry about that. That's my bird. So that's what you work on building trust.
Right.
And the trust, when you get all that trust, then you free up all the inhibitions and everything. Then you become the person on television that you basically are in life. You can't be a phony. You can't be one thing here and then go on television and be something else. And then when people see the other way, they go, oh, he's not like that at all. And I think with Fox, with Howie and I have been there from the very beginning, we all get along greatly. I mean, Kurt Menefee, all of us, we're good friends. We stay in touch with one another. There's no jealousy. We're proud of the accomplishments of anyone on our show. And we truly do love each other as brothers. It is so much fun. And we don't care who gets credit. Credit's not important to us. It's the show. Yeah. And it's hard to get that, Brian. It's very difficult. It's hard to find that.
I'm sure. Yeah. No, you guys have a great chemistry. And even Gronk coming in for Jimmy has kind of seamlessly fit in with your group.
Oh, Gronk cracks me up because Gronk's got it all down. All right. You can watch him over there. He's going through it, got his notes, and he's got it. Then it's his turn to talk. And I'll just turn and look at him. And he cracks me up, just the way he delivers his message. And Strahan will be almost laughing, and he'll turn and look at me, and I have to turn away. Gronk's, the great thing and the hard thing about TV is not to copy, but to be original, be yourself. Mm-hmm. And so that's what makes it kind of special. Everybody is who they are. Gronkowski, I love it. I mean, I love the way he talks. He cracks me up. He's just a big old lovable guy. And what people don't realize, they think, oh, it's tough, the tight end. Oh, but here's a guy that turned down a scholarship to Harvard. He's a smart boy.
Wow.
Smart boy, yeah.
Let me ask you a little bit about the Steelers. Obviously, the 4 Super Bowls, 4-0 in the Super Bowls. I think you're one of the most underrated players in NFL history. I really do. No, I'm not kidding. I mean, who you, Troy Aikman, Joe Montana. Is there anyone else that went undefeated in multiple Super Bowls? I don't think there is.
Well, multiple? No, I don't think. Yeah. I don't think so.
So what, I know your relationship with Chuck Knoll was a little bumpy at times.
Right.
What is your relationship now with the Steelers and Pittsburgh? And how do you remember? Do you remember it fondly, or are there any I wish that could have been a little different?
Well, I've got a book that's going to be released this fall, Brian. So hopefully I'll come back on your show. We'll talk about it, because I discussed, hold it. Hey, I got the most important guy in the world on here. Shut up. Sorry about that. That's baby girl, my dachshund. Baby girl.
Oh, a dachshund. I love dachshunds.
Here, come here, Sadie.
Oh, yeah.
Come here, baby.
Oh, Sadie.
This is baby girl.
Oh, what a doll. What a doll. Baby.
So, hey. My wife is walking. Sorry, folks.
No, dachshunds like to bark. So
I got 7 dachshunds.
7 dachshunds.
7 dachshunds. And then I have Stevie D over here, my African gray, who's just a singing, talking fool. Hear him over there whistling? Every time I get on do something, they start talking. Steve, shut up.
All right, without giving away the substance of the book, a little bit about your remembrances of your time.
It's good. No, Brian, It's good. I went back for the draft, had a great time in the city. Best thing I ever did was to go back and spend some time in the city. It was great. Steeler front office, players, Ben Roethlisberger, it was just great. There were times when I retired, I did have trouble with Chuck Knoll. Mm-hmm. And I address that in the book. I don't particularly like talking about it because he's dead. But it is what it is, and I don't hide that. But it wasn't a good relationship with him, and that never got mended.
Sorry.
I was around him a couple of times. It was fine. I wasn't cold or anything like that. I don't have that in my body, but it's good. The city and it's good. It's real good. I'm very comfortable going into Pittsburgh now. And why not? A lot of our players, Brian, that I play with they're dying.
Yeah.
I mean, they're dying. Joe Green, I just talked to Joe 2 days ago, and Joe's 79. And Mel Blount and I are buddies. He's 78. I'm 77. Mike Wagner just passed away with cancer. I mean, everybody. Sam Davis is gone. Just like, wow. I saw Stallworth, and I saw Swanee, and we're all in our 70s, and it's just like, golly,
how did that happen?
How did that happen? Yeah, but it's good. I've got a really good relationship with Pittsburgh. Really good one.
Excellent.
And I'm very proud of it.
Last question for you, because I know you've got to go. I look at Jimmy Johnson. He stepped aside on Fox a few years ago. I know Jimmy Johnson, didn't he recruit you to Louisiana Tech?
He did.
You've known him a long time.
He was my freshman year in college. He was our defensive line coach.
Okay, that's hilarious. So, I look at him. He's enjoying fishing with Troy Aikman and all of his buddies, and you've got all these businesses going on. How much longer do you want to do the TV thing before you just say, you know what? I'm going to sit on my ranch and enjoy my 7 dachshunds.
I can't do that. My wife and we've been home now going on 2 weeks, and we're going crazy. We're not used to being still. No, we were driving around yesterday, coming in from town, and I said, "Gee whiz, we've got 2 weeks at home. We're never still."
Okay,
but I don't think retirement is not something that I may not be with Fox. That would be their call, not mine. But I'll still be speaking, and if not doing that, I'll still work the Bourbon Trail.
Yep.
Billy Graham said that the day that you retire is the day you start dying, and I do believe a lot of people, when they stop using their brain and keep their thought processes moving and advancing, I do think, for whatever reason, I believe you age and people end up dying. I mean, people die like within a year after retirement, so I don't want to do that. I see myself staying fully active right up to the end.
Well, Terry, you are an American original. I've wanted to have you on. I've been doing this show 22 years. I've been wanting to have you on for a long, long time. This was well worth the wait. Congratulations on Bradshaw, Bourbon, and your quarter horses and the Emmys at Fox, and obviously the incredible Hall of Fame career with the Steelers.
Thanks.
It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you.
Well, Brian, I want you to have me back on when my book is out. Okay?
Absolutely. I would love that.
We'll talk some more.